Hi, my name's Alice and I'm a paramedic for West Midlands Ambulance Service. I've been frontline there for 8 years. I joined the service when I was quite young, when I was 19, and I've definitely seen a change just in that short period of time. So I'm going to be talking about a few different topics in terms of myself and pre-hospital care. So first one up is critical thinking. So this is something that I think all of us in the medical field will do every day. The actual definition, and I can't take any credit for this because I did actually have a look at the proper definition for it. So critical thinking is defined as the analysis of available facts, evidence, observations and arguments to form a judgment. So myself as a paramedic, obviously this is something that we do every day, ascertaining a history from a patient, doing observations, and then forming a judgment in terms of what treatment plan we're going to go down, whether we're going to leave the patient at home with alternative pathways or whether the patient needs to go to hospital for treatment. So this is something that I believe a lot of clinicians do, like nurses will do, doctors, and everyone else in between really. So this is quite an important factor, I believe, in the NHS, as it formulates an ongoing plan for each patient that is in the care, either pre-hospitally or in the hospital. So with ourselves in the ambulance service, we'll work alongside other people. So it could be district nurses, it could be calling GPs, or again taking people to hospital, and it's important to give that patient the right care at the right time through a skilled and committed workforce. So this is something that is instilled in ourselves when joining the ambulance service. Another aspect I want to just talk about is mentoring. Now I think mentoring is really important, and again, just relating it back to myself, I think if you've had quite a good mentor, someone that's quite enthusiastic, that's willing to go that extra mile for you, it will show. And obviously as a student, you've got to be quite proactive as well and willing to learn. But I think this can really shape you as a clinician. I think in that initial phase when you're learning, you're like a sponge, you will take on anything, and especially in the role that you want to be in, whether it's nursing, you will listen to your nurse that's mentoring you and take on all that information. I think it's important to be honest as well. If you don't know an answer to a question that maybe a student may have, is just be upfront about it. Be like, oh, you know what, I don't know. You'll go and find out together, because then you won't forget that either. And I think if you can be honest through this pathway, it's going to give the student a bit more realisation that not everyone knows everything, we don't know everything about everything, and we are here to learn as well. I definitely adopt that approach, and hands up, I don't know everything, but I'll give everything a good go, and if I don't know something, I will go and find out. I think me personally, through mentoring, I've had different approaches, and I've just always maintained the thought process of I want to be a good clinician, and I will research things myself as well, which I think is quite important to continue development really in the role. Burnout, I think, is so prevalent at the moment. Obviously the NHS is under massive strain no matter which way you turn. There's something going on somewhere, and myself and my fellow colleagues in the NHS, we are just trying to do our best, and just trying to keep afloat. It can be difficult, and you have to make some really difficult decisions, sort of day to day. And I think it's important to recognise when we are actually burnt out and that we just need to step away from it, whether that's just booking some time off and coming away from the role for a little bit, just to give yourself that sort of factory reset, to come away from it and just breathe and just be present in things that you enjoy as well. I know for myself, I like going to the gym, I like keeping fit and things like that, and also taking up hobbies. I think is really important, and to come away from like anything medical and just give yourself a break and just recognise that when it's, you know, when you do need to just come away. But I know it's difficult because you may take some time off or have some annual leave, and you're torn between wanting to go back to work and feeling guilty for that time off. I think we can all probably relate to that, taking some time away, but then you're still thinking about these patients that you may have gone to, or that you feel guilty that you may have left like your colleagues in a position, and you're just torn between burning out, being absolutely burnt out, and showing up for strangers and helping them, which ultimately I think that's what we do as medical professionals and people in the NHS. We show up for strangers and we help people that we may have never ever met, but obviously it's a job role, but I think it is more than that. It's definitely more than that to me, and I do want to make such a difference with people's lives, not just, you know, medically or making them well, it's mentally as well. So sort of on that note, with being a paramedic, I have got like a free gift. It's a book, and it's called Fighting for Your Life. So this is written by a paramedic that's based in London, and she puts it in quite good perspective of jobs that we may attend every day. Not too many people might know what skills we have or what jobs we attend, but I think she sums it up where she says sort of like face to face with death and destiny every day. And I think that's such a good quote, because I often think that like I can do everything I can to save your life, but if it is your time to go, it's your time to go, and it's easy to deal with things that way. So yeah, I'll be offering that book up for free, so it's a good read. So thanks for listening to me.
I was also speaking on something I'm very passionate about while working in the NHS, and if you follow me on Instagram, my name on Instagram is AmakaNJ, or you've seen any of my YouTube videos, my channel is Sophie Sai, you would know I'm very passionate about IMGs. I'm going to explain what that means, give that to you before you actually start. So I have specifically, over the last 2 years, worked with foundation doctors and medical students trying to get into the foundation program. I have done that in collaboration with, I had discussions with Health Education England.